Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of BSing Sports, part of the BSing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. Today, here with me on the fantasy football episodes 99.999% of the time is Jacob Krogan. You can find him on Twitter at BSing Sports Bets, and we are getting back into that time of the season. Jake, why don't you go ahead and throw your pitch about your upcoming Friday night shows?
So upcoming Friday nights, me and the degenerate boys that we're coming back with the betting show, right in time for football. So look forward to us this upcoming Friday at around 7 p.m.
Oh yeah. Oh, so you guys are starting this Friday?
Yeah, we'll start this Friday.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of preseason lines that look so juicy. I mean, I've got bets out already. I was out on Saturday or Sunday. I put $160 in the account, and I put $5 on every single team's over/under win total. So we'll see how that pans out at the end of the season. I'll have to keep track and see, where we're at as far as the come up there. I ended up taking a lot of unders in that one. Hot Take City, yo, what's up, Hot Take City? We've got a shout out for you on this show, actually. We've
Broncos,
got Pete checking in. Sup, fellas? I'm on my show right now, but just wanted to say what's good. Then he also said, "Go Broncos!"
Hell yeah, brother!
We gotta convert you guys. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, what's going on, fellas? So, based on the banner, as you can see, we've got fantasy football hot takes for the upcoming season. We mixed in a little bit of real life football with it too, but we did try to keep it more fantasy, centric. Jake and I have not discussed the actual hot takes, but we did discuss that we are probably going to fight, which happens on every show. It's okay,
as we always do. It's fine.
Yeah. We are not one and the same, like, at all. It's not even close.
Amen.
Go Giants.
Go Giants.
And then the crying emoji. So at least he understands. Speaking of shout outs, Hot Take City, we'll go ahead and put your hot take up there first.
Jumping right into it.
Rico Dowdle will be a top 5 fantasy running back. So, Jake, I'll let you start it out. The way that we're going to do this is we are going to grade the hot takes on a scale out of 10. 0 being like, this is freezing cold. Everybody knows that this is going to happen. 10 being like, wow, you are the only person on the planet that thinks this. And then between the two of us, whoever, has the most points for hot takes that hit at the end of the season, we'll just figure out if we're going to do a prize or bragging rights or whatever. So, Jake, to start it out of 10, how spicy is this hot take?
To me, this is a 10. This is a off-the-wall, crazy, somebody put this man in a padded room type of take. Personally,
crazy.
Don't take it too personally. I could just think of 5 better running backs off the top of my head, and appreciate it, Joey. It's actually probably going to get changed this weekend as well. So just keep on the lookout for that.
Can't make up your mind, huh?
Well, I'm going to repaint the wall, put an old school Denver D logo, and kind of go with that, see where we go with it. That's the game plan anyway.
Yeah, so for me, this is also like an 11 out of 10. This is the only time I've heard this take. I know he's been pushing this take for like a couple months now in the offseason. However, I shouldn't really be that bashing of it. The Cowboys have a fantastic offense, and I've heard nothing but good things about Rico Dowdle all offseason.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, exactly.
If he does end up getting the lion's share of touches out of that backfield, which is what I really have a hard time believing is that he'll do that, there's maybe a path for it. I think top 5 is, a stretch, even if he gets every single backfield touch this season. But yeah, this is an easy 10 out of 10 spicy. I wouldn't bet on it.
Oh, yeah, and the big thing, I don't know if you saw that news in Hot Take. I was going to bring this up to you. You saw Dalvin Cook's flying to Dallas, right?
I did see that. That's an interesting one. Logan, thanks for checking in. I know this isn't a hot take, but Dak Prescott, the obvious number 1 pick. I know you guys totally agree. Yeah, definitely. Logan's been a Cowboys hater for some time, living in Dallas. So, Logan, thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I'm not on the Rico Dowdle being a top 5 fantasy running back. However, if it does end up happening, I will gladly come back on this show, post this same thing, and be like, "Yep, you were right."
I will shotgun many of beers
Yeah.
for you hot take if that happens.
Nonetheless, if you are watching this show, you should still go follow Hot Take City at Hot Take City 904 on Twitter, because he does drop some really good hot takes and has some really good sports conversation. Really awesome dude. Love interacting with him in the chats. The other of the two hot takes we got on the tweet that I posted out some time ago was at Willie Bob Steve. Kimani Vidal will be a top 5 running back the second half of the season. Jake, go ahead, give your take about that one.
This
second half
to
of the
me
season,
is kind of like I give it a 6.5 out of 10. I don't think it's that crazy to think about it, because Gus Edwards getting old, probably going to get hurt. J.K. Dobbins stays hurt. So I mean, if you really think
J.K.
about
Dobbins didn't get hurt, walking onto the plane or whatever.
You know what? So to me, I don't think it's that crazy because he says second half of the season. And that's why I don't think it's that crazy. But at the same time, who knows? It's anybody's game. Football's crazy. Injuries happen. So that's why it's not crazy to me.
I'm going to go back to Kimani Vidal before we talk about that one. So to me, this is like an 8.5, 9. I think
Really?
that, yeah, I think that Gus Edwards, I think that they split enough between those 3 backs that Gus can maintain the health. And he's very obviously the candidate for the touchdowns, which DraftKings, I think, disagrees with. I think his over-under line for touchdowns this season is 4.5, which is like interestingly low. Speaking of sports bets Friday night, go ahead, check it out on the YouTube channel. Yeah, it's like an 8.5 again, because to your point, like those guys have been hurt before. Obviously, J.K. Dobbins has been more hurt than healthy in his career. And Vidal, again, another guy that we've heard nothing but good things about in a system that should be very run heavy with Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh there. That's going to be an interesting one to play out. I have a hot take about the Chargers offense. We'll get into it a little bit later. I feel like you're probably going to be a little cold on my take, but I do have a hot take about the Chargers. So let's go ahead and jump into this real quick. Hot take: Scary Terry, 1,500 yards with 10 touchdowns. 9 out of 10. Terry has...
That's a hot take, Joey.
Yeah, has never displayed the ability to be able to do this.
Man, yeah, that's up there. Yeah, I'd definitely give it a 9. I want it to happen because I have Terry shares, but what I want and what actually happens in football rarely ever happens. So we'll see how that goes. But 1,500 yards is just insane to me, Joey. And with a rookie quarterback that is a runner, I don't think 1,500 is feasible. And 10 touchdowns, I feel like 10 touchdowns is doable. 1,500 yards, not so much.
Yeah, I lean more towards 10 touchdowns being doable versus 1,500 yards. I like Scary Terry, but like for what he is, he's just consistently been like a low-end wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3. He did have that 1 year where he was wide receiver 14. If you're putting up these kinds of numbers, you're a top 12 wide receiver, and I just don't think that is in the avenue of, what he can provide for you on fantasy. So a little bit out of reach. I'd say like 1,208. That's probably more so where I lean. Jake, we're climbing up there in views, brother. You know what happens when we hit 50, right? For those of you that do not know what happens when we hit 50 views, we are at 40, by the way. Jake shotguns a beer. So if you are watching on Twitter, YouTube, wherever you're watching, go ahead and share. Get us up to 50 views so Jake can shotgun a beer before we've even done any of our own hot takes.
Yeah, I was about to say, these takes are going to get real hot if I'm drinking.
Yeah, that would be. And then, here comes Gingy with a hot take about the Broncos. Broncos will win their next Super Bowl in 2099. Obviously only saying that because Jake is a Broncos fan and Gingy's a troll. But the real hot take is CJ Stroud runs the table and leads the Texans to their first Super Bowl. When you say run the table, do you mean like they go undefeated all season?
That would be
that changes my grade on this hot take.
Just for fun and games, let's do it. Yeah, why not? They go undefeated.
I mean, if they run the table and win their first Super Bowl, that's a 10. If it's just like win a Super Bowl, it's like a 7.
Fair enough.
What do you think?
Oh, I don't think they come anywhere close. I actually think CJ Stroud regresses this year.
With the addition of Diggs, you think he regresses?
I don't think they win the division.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Jake.
Man, that was way too quick. Y'all gotta stop with the iPads.
Jake, go get that beer, brother, because we are at 50 views. Go ahead and shotgun that bad boy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for getting us to 50 views. If you are watching this, do me a favor. Just hit the like button. Just hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Lots of great content coming up with the football season coming up. We've got our prediction shows on Saturday nights. We've got sports bets on Friday night. If you're an Eagles fan, we've got Eagles recaps on Tuesday. It's going to be fantastic. Oh, we got Pete in the chat. What's up, Pete? Hot take: Colts win the South. I'm curious as to who he says when he comes back. I'm curious about that. And he says, "Drink, dang right, drink." 55 views here already. Again, go ahead, hit like, subscribe, and share. We love that stuff here. And Jake, we're not even we haven't even talked about our own first hot take, and we are already shotgunning a beer. I love to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a chug in the chat?
Pete out here trying to be my demise.
These takes are about to get real spicy, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no, what are we doing here, ladies and gentlemen? Cheers to the love and support, guys.
Get a chug in the chat, baby. Let's go. Twisted Teas. Love it, love it, love it. Do you remember when Timmy said he could chug faster than you?
There's no way. There's absolutely no way.
Also, we're at 62 views now. I feel like that's probably
Nah, if we get to 100, I'll do another.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that. We're at 61 views right now. Like, subscribe, share, get this out to your friends. 39 more views until we're at 100. Thank you for checking in, Pete, again. Joey says Jake is crazy, which if you watch this show, it's probably partially true. And he says, I want a jersey bet that CJ does not regress. I'll need some clarification on what we're talking about by regress.
Yeah, we can talk later, Joey.
Pete says 75.
Okay. Nah, that's 13 people away. Nah, let's
do 80.
Okay, I'll do 85.
85. All right, 85, ladies
please.
and gentlemen. We've settled on 85. Twisted Teas and Plan Bs. Jake is God's silliest goose. Then jump on whatnot after your next beer.
No, sir. No, sir. Not that today. Not
so, yeah, let's jump into our fantasy football hot takes. Jake, you are probably a lot better with hot takes than I am. Why don't you go ahead and start this off? Give us your first fantasy football hot take.
Well, this one goes out to my boy Joey. So he's in 8 fantasy football leagues here. And my hot take is he won't win a single one of them. That one was for Joey, ladies and gentlemen. I will get to a serious one here, but he was talking mad crap about my fantasy football analysis.
Oh, man. I forgot about that. That's funny. 67 views, ladies and gentlemen. Keep up the good work. Again, we got to get to 85 to see another Twisted Tea being chugged. Joey, I know you're still out there. I know you heard that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. Waiting for the comments. But my first one here is Kyle Pitts finishes as tight end 1, like the number 1 tight end. I won 3 last year.
Return on investment, baby. I guess that's what
I made $1,000. Thank you.
Big thing at the end of the year is you got to measure your return on investment, and that's how good of a fantasy analyst you are. It's not the content you bring; it's how much money you make in your fantasy football leagues.
Shout out to 69 viewers. Just want to be there for it.
What's good, y'all? What's up, JC?
What's up, JC? Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, you missed the first chug, JC, but if you help us out here and get us, 16 more viewers, we get another chug. We get another Twisted Tea over here. So, Jake, thank you for participating in that. My first fantasy take.
Wait, what'd you give that hot take?
Oh, what, the Joey one or the Kyle
No,
Pitts one?
I said Kyle Pitts finishes as tight end 1.
Oh,
Number 1.
a 5.
A 5, really?
Yeah, I think that there's one big obstacle in his way.
Drake London?
Travis Kelce.
Yeah. I mean, obviously because of what he's done over the years, but to me, he hasn't done it before. The best he's ever finished was his freshman year. Man, I came in for a full argument. I had stats for all this. But
yeah,
5 and 6.
I think it's like I don't think it's unreasonable, right? Like Kyle Pitts has to break out soon, right? Like he has the talent. It's there, and he obviously has a very good quarterback who has supported both wide receivers and tight ends in the past, as TJ Hawkinson was definitely on pace to be tight end 1 last year before he got hurt. But yeah, it's again, Travis Kelce is probably the most threatening to that. We've talked about this. Sam Laporta's due for some touchdown regression, so I expect him to come back. However, even if Sam Laporta regresses by 3 touchdowns, he goes from tight end 2 in tight end premium formats all the way down to tight end 2. So that's how much further ahead he was than tight end 3. 10 more views, ladies and gentlemen. 10 more views.
Oh, Jesus.
Jake, I hope you came thirsty for this show.
I guess, man. Y'all really trying to see some stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to see some hot takes, Jake. So need 85 views to go ahead and get us another Twisted Tea. But yeah, I'd give that.
Ginger, that's not a hot take, buddy. That's a -4.
That's ice cold.
I probably have like 10 jersey bets out there right now.
Yeah, the over/under on losses for you was like 4.5.
Yeah,
it was
not hot, buddy. But let's give me your first hot take. We're getting distracted over here.
My first hot take for the fantasy football season. This has a lot to do with real life football as well. Josh Reynolds leads the Broncos in receptions and finishes as a top 36 wide receiver.
Up 4.
I was wondering how you'd feel about that because you and I had a conversation about Reynolds earlier in the offseason, and you made the comment that he might get cut. And this was way, way, way early, like right after the draft early. And I was like, I don't think that there's any way that happens. But I mean, now that we've seen Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin just not – obviously they're not factors in the offense.
Well, I mean, Marvin Mims does what Sean Payton wants him to do. I think Marvin Mims actually – has a chance. Like that would be the hot take for me is he is the leader. We saw the touchdown from Bo Nix. He's fast. He gets over the top. They want him in motion, and that's kind of Sean Payton's offense, and that's what he wants to do. So I could see Marvin Mims, if you said that, be a hotter take. But
I think Dulcich, if he stays healthy, and Sutton are better pass catchers than Reynolds. I think Reynolds is very clearly the third target right now, which is kind of why I went Reynolds. I don't even see a route where Marvin Mims is even remotely close to leading the Broncos in catches, which is why I kind of kept it in the realm of like actual possibilities versus like wishful thinking.
But I mean, to me, Sutton's still the number 1 overall. That's why, to me,
I could see Dulcich if he stays healthy leading the team in
big if. But I could totally see that as well. Like Dulcich being a top 5 tight end probably would have been a nice hot take there, in my opinion.
I see the sweat.
We're at dude, I keep seeing it tick up, and I'm just like
6 more views until Jake goes to Twisted Tea number 2, and we haven't even given hot take number 2.
Oh my god!
3.
We love the support. If you are watching, if you can switch to YouTube, give us a subscribe and a like. We appreciate. Oh my god, it just keeps going up. Yeah. But we appreciate everything that like this community does, and we appreciate all the support that we do get, and just we want to bring you all the best content that we can. So I'm gonna jump to my next one here, and it is Garrett Wilson finishes as a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy football. Do you have that?
Do you want to just get into the argument?
Oh god, let's get into the argument here.
Here's my hot take. Drake London and Garrett Wilson both finish outside the top 12 in fantasy this year.
Okay. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this. I understand Garrett Wilson has had his quarterback struggles to this point in his career and is a fantastic wide receiver. I have this weird feeling that kind of similar to Drake London, kind of similar to Chris Olave. We just like what if these guys to death. Being top 12 is kind of hard. Especially when you got Justin Jefferson averaging 20 a game with guys like Jaron Hall and Josh Dobbs throwing him the football.
Okay. Yes. And one, JC, that's me coming down with the sickness. Not the one beer I just drank, but I appreciate
the watch the nervousness. Jake's slurring his words a little. Jake will slur his words a little even more if we get 3 more viewers on this show.
But the reason why I say this is he's had the last 2 years, he's had the targets, and that's what everybody's like, oh, he has the targets, he still doesn't put it up. Look up how many of those are uncatchable balls. A lot of them are uncatchable.
Wilson's not a good quarterback?
Zach Wilson is not. New York destroyed him.
I'll keep my mouth shut.
But also, if you look at his touchdowns, he had 3 last year, 4 the year before. You jump him up to 10 there, he's already almost a wide receiver 1 right there. On top of, I think he puts up 12 to 1,300 yards easy this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think there's a path for it. I definitely see it. I think your hot take is a little colder than mine. I think I should probably be the one doing the justification.
No, I'm just saying, like, to me.
I at this point in his career, I'm not sure how much faith I have in Aaron Rodgers anymore to be Aaron Rodgers, particularly coming off of, the Achilles tear. 2 more views, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Jake. Yeah, that the sweat is coming, dude. I can see it.
Dude, it's hot in
It's
here.
getting a little hot in there, huh?
Oh, God.
Yeah, this is more so a gut feeling for me. Is like just all this hype surrounding these guys. Oh, they have the real quarterbacks. Oh, they're going to do this. They're going to do that. And then let me ask you this question. Like, say hypothetically that hits, right? Say that I hit.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to their dynasty value if neither one of them finish top 12 and Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins stay healthy all year and yada, yada, and they just don't finish top 12? Like, how do you view Drake London and Garrett Wilson at that point?
It plummets because that's been the excuse on why they haven't reached their potential is the quarterback play. I'm just about to go grab a beer.
Go ahead. Go ahead, baby. Just go do it.
Just go do it. Just go walk up. But I don't hate that
stream up on my phone to get that 85th view.
Yeah, right. I thought about it. I could just do that myself. I don't hate your take, but I think it's impossible because one of those guys is going to be a top 12.
And so again, I have nothing really to say with that.
If they stay healthy.
Yeah, to me, it's up to their old quarterbacks coming off of, actually Achilles tears, funny enough, both of them.
Right.
There you go. We're at 86. 86, ladies and gentlemen.
Should have done 100.
Taking the walk of shame.
The walk of shame.
I'm going to have to download an audio or something to be like chug, chug, chug when Jake's got to chug beers. So we set the bar at 50 for a chug. We set the bar 85 for a chug. If we get 13 more viewers, that's 100, and we can get another chug. Jake, you might as well grab 2, homie. We're getting 100 viewers. Grab 2. I put you over the top, Jake. Love that. I appreciate the support. Love that.
Appreciate it, sis.
And Pete is right in step with me. Your next one is 100, which we're 13 away from. 12.
You know what? Just because I want to see 100 beautiful people watch our show, I did grab 2. So if we get to 100, I will do the next one.
It's there, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let that twisted tea get warm on him now.
And then all jokes are out the window at that point. All slurring aside.
We're about to get the really hot takes.
Yeah, right? Okay,
Broncos
so my next hot take.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. Broncos are winning everything.
They're like,
Bo Nix MVP.
Yeah, right? Like, okay.
Hey, cheers to the 88 people watching. We appreciate you.
Hot take: Timmy chugs faster.
That's a 20 out of 10 right there. But
all right, so we kind of disagreed there. Again, you're bringing the numbers and the stats, and I'm bringing the gut feelings and emotion. How about that?
yeah, that's a change of pace for us.
How the turntables?
Yeah, right. But
so my second one was Caleb Williams finishes top 12 and becomes the Bears' first 4,000-yard passer in franchise history.
Ooh, Yes, Timmy Twisted Tees. I don't think that's such a hot take, though.
Dude, I didn't think so.
Everybody thinks that's going to happen.
I didn't think so either, but to look at his line on the sports books and see 3,500 is like, what am I missing?
His 50% completion percentage.
Yeah, but some of the hero plays he's going to make is going to be chunk plays.
I mean, Russell Wilson makes hero plays, and look how we view him. So, I mean, it is what it is. Now, that's a hot take, Timmy. Your next one is 100. Ugh, that's going to hurt. But
there we go. I got it posted so I don't have to keep repeating. 100 views, Jake chugs.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. I saw this, that he was going to be the wide receiver 3 on the team. And then I also have seen in my followings that all 3 of Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, and DJ Moore are going to have 100 receptions. Like, if that happens, I'll sell my house.
That's insane.
Yeah, they're not with Shane Waldron as the offensive coordinator. Like, no way.
And, I mean, you have a better shot with Swift getting 100.
Than who?
Than one of them. I mean, Keenan Allen's probably going to get hurt. Like, let's be honest here.
That's probably true.
So, I mean, if that's what you want to do.
What do you grade it as?
Pardon?
What do you grade it as?
Your take that he'll finish quarterback 12 or better and have 4,000 yards? I think they're losing a bunch of games. He has to throw, so I give it like a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10?
Because his rushing upside, and like you said, he's going to make hero plays, so he'll get the touchdowns. What scares me the most is, can he not turn the ball over?
Oh, yeah, his line for his touchdowns is only at 22.5 or 23.5, and his yards are 3,500. And I'm looking at it, I'm just like, I got to be missing something.
You want to know who had that last year? Russell Wilson.
Well, here's my thing, right? Russell Wilson sat some games. He missed some games and threw for 3,500 yards. Like 3,500 yards in 17 games is just over 200 yards a game. Like, that's nothing for a team that has weapons like that. And, to your point, we'll probably be losing a lot of games. Like, that's nothing.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, that's why I don't think it's that hot of a take.
Yeah. My next one will probably get a little bit spicier. Go ahead. What's your next hot take, Jake?
My next hot take, and this one might turn some heads here. Kyler Murray finishes as the number 1 overall quarterback in fantasy football.
Man, I think that's like a 4 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay. We've seen him, right? He's never finished lower than 9th in points per game in 4-point passing touchdown. Like, it's there, right? And now he has a Marvin Harrison Jr., which, given the track record of recent rookie wide receivers to come out, and he may arguably be better than all of them. Plus, he's got Trey McBride. I think that's a pretty good offense with a pretty bad defense. I think there's a good combo for that to happen. It's just a matter of Kyler's got to stay on the field. Yeah,
and also, yeah, like you said, the talent's there. He's got Marvin Harrison Jr., he's got Trey McBride, James Conner, Trey Benson. People are saying, huh?
9 more views.
9 more views.
91 views, ladies and gentlemen. We need 100.
I have faith in the loving people that we have met over the last few weeks, and the people that enjoy watching me drink beers, I guess.
Yeah, I have plenty of faith in our community here. So, yeah, I'm giving that like a 4 out of 10. I'll bump it to a 5 out of 10. I'll give you the extra point just because at this point, Josh Allen is the QB1. And it's funny you have that hot take. Okay.
Let me
I'll skip my next one and I'll jump right to this other one that I have.
Oh, the other
Anthony Richardson takes Josh Allen's crown as QB1 for the season. It's one of my takes. 10?
That's a 10.
Oh, okay.
Look, and just so everybody watching, all the way through the offseason here, I was the biggest Anthony Richardson fan. I was hyping him up, loved what he did. And then the last 3 preseason games, I've kind of changed my take on it, that he is strictly a running quarterback and the accuracy issues are still there. So,
yeah, I think he does definitely have some, footwork issues to clean up, some accuracy from within the pocket to clean up. But I don't care about none of that in fantasy football. I care about the fact that he's going to run for like 15 touchdowns and vulture a lot of the goal line carries from Jonathan Taylor. And that Shane Steichen is gonna do his thing and lead him down the path of victory and QB1-ness and get me 10 points in our hot takes episode.
See, I kind of like wanted to go off of that and be like Adonai Mitchell is like a top 24 receiver this year, but I felt like that wasn't going to get a lot of hot takes.
Yeah, I am completely out on Adonai Mitchell, so anything good having to do with Adonai Mitchell, no. To me, not even top 40. Like, I don't think he has a top 40 finish this year.
You don't think he finishes top 40?
No.
Ooh. And to me, it all comes down to, can Josh Downs stay healthy? That's what it comes down to for me. Because if you have Alex Pierce and everything in that offense, but oh yeah, Pete, trust me, I have the graded 10 orange prism right there on my wall. Oh man, 6
more.
Trust me, I love AR for fantasy
people to
football,
hit like and share.
But I don't think he overtakes. I want to see him stay healthy. So to me, that's a 10. I don't think it happens. I
definitely see that. I think if he stays healthy with what we saw last year, strictly from a fantasy output, it's very possible. I think the health is the biggest question.
Okay. Fair enough. And that's why we agree to disagree here.
Yep. What's your next hot take?
Jalen Wright will lead the Dolphins in rushing.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10, really?
I think between Mostert and Achane, like they're way too explosive. Like those guys are just like next level explosive. And specifically more so for Mostert, he's been with McDaniel most of his whole career. Yeah. So he knows the system very well. I think he gets the lion's share of touches. We discussed this. What was that, a couple days ago? 5 more views we need, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. We discussed this a couple days ago where I showed you their lines for the rushing totals, and Achane's is at 750 and Mostert's is at 700. I don't see any way where at least one of them doesn't break 1,000.
So just Jalen Wright in the preseason rushed 17 times, 91 yards. That's a 5.4 average. He had his touchdown. He caught 4 balls for 41 yards.
Oh, I think Jalen Wright you and I both agree. Jalen Wright.
Oh, dude. I'm probably the biggest Jalen Wright fan. I'm probably going to buy his jersey just so I can hang it up back there and just call it a day. That man is a stud, and it hurts my feelings that the Dolphins got him, but that's besides the point.
I think Jalen Wright was drafted to replace Mostert in 2025 when they can easily get out from his contract. He'll be 33 years old at that point. And then if you had said that next year, it would have been like slightly less of a hot take. Actually, I'm going to give you all 10 points for that. I don't think that there's any way that Jalen Wright leads the Dolphins in rushing this year.
I just think it happens. Achane is 5'9", 188. Yes, he's explosive as they get. He got hurt 3 different times last year. 3 different times, not just one like injury. Like
this guy ran for 800 yards in 11 games.
Yeah, Denver gave him like 802 of those yards.
He did have a couple of duds, but still, just between him and Mostert, like if he has a dud, Mostert went off. If
Mostert that's what I'm saying. So like, I think Jalen Wright is Jalen Wright is the guy. He is. They drafted him to be the guy, and he's going to prove it this year. And by the end of the year, I think he takes it.
I don't think they drafted a 4th-round running back to be the guy. I think they drafted him to supplement Achane in 2025.
Yeah, fair enough. It's why I have him in every dynasty league I can get him in. So.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for like Jalen Wright to be like not hardly involved with the offense at all, and then go buy him like mid-season or something, because I truly anticipate the Dolphins cutting Raheem Mostert next year and opening up an avenue to where your point is Devon Achane can't stay healthy. I'm waiting for that in 2025 when Jalen Wright gets the job.
But Mostert can't stay healthy either. He's never had a full season.
Yeah, last year was a phenomenon for him too. He's had
the first time he was running back one.
Yeah, I'll give you all 10 though. I don't see an avenue where like both Mostert and Achane are either A, don't play enough, or B, both get hurt long enough that where Wright overtakes them in rushing yards.
I got you.
Yeah. So my next hot take, the Chargers do not have either a top 30 wide receiver or a top 20 running back on the season. I think that's one of those really good, like not really good, but like an okay real life offense. Doesn't do squat for your fantasy team.
Interesting. What rank did you say for running back?
Top 20.
Top 20.
Gus
can probably disagree with that.
Gus can probably sneak into the top 24, but I don't see a top 20 running back there.
No, I don't see a top 20 for that either. I go with Vidal top 5 in the second half. I believe that more than
I think if he's top 5 in the second half, you would assume he'd have to kind of squeeze in there, right? Or else like he just wasn't playing it all the first half.
I mean, it is what it is.
But yeah, I also don't think assumedly Josh Palmer or Ladd McConkey finished top 30.
But Quentin Johnston.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do
it. Hear me out. I'm buying Quentin Johnston.
Those Mr. T's hit you hard if you're about to tell me Quentin Johnston's going to be a top 30 wide receiver.
Look, but the head coach said it, dude. He said that they have special plays for him. No, I'm just kidding. I hope he does, because I have bought into stock in him. I got him for the cheap. I have him in best ball leagues for his ADP. Like, I'm here for it. So, to me, Quentin Johnston is the play, and that's this guy.
He's talking about this. Lightweight, baby. Like Ronnie Coleman. Lightweight, baby.
Timmy,
still need 5 more views
to hang out.
Third chug.
Yeah, we got 5 more. We've stayed consistent at 95, and we appreciate what everybody's doing here.
We're like the Hacksaw Ridge guy, where we need 1 more, but we need a lot more than 1 more. You know, we just need 1 more after 1 more after 1 more.
Give me 1 more.
1 more.
But no, I don't hate that. I don't hate that take, but to me.
So let me ask you this real quick before we jump to your next take. How much would it change if I said all those things happen and Justin Herbert still finishes as a top 12 quarterback? To me, that makes it interesting. That's an inside joke. I'll tell you about it off the show.
Yeah, I was like, what? That made no sense.
That's an inside joke. I'll tell you about that off air.
Okay. If you add Justin Herbert in there, that's a 10 out of 10, because I don't think that happens. And I've bought you and me both throughout all of our pods. If y'all haven't listened, we love Justin Herbert. We love his value right now that you can buy him at. And the Chargers won't always have bad wide receivers. It's going to change. And Justin Herbert still competes, puts up numbers, and does everything. So if he does that, I think one of those others happens. So if you put that in there, it's a 10 out of 10. It's not going to happen. That's the hottest of hot takes.
For what it's worth, Josh Palmer's stat line after Mike Williams got hurt, but before he got hurt last year, he was averaging like 5 catches, like 71 yards a game, and like 0.5 touchdowns. So like he was producing pretty good with Keenan Allen still there. I'm wondering if this is going to be like a Houston Texans scenario. You remember this time last year, we were sitting here trashing on the Houston Texans wide receiver room, and they're not going to do anything, and they're not going to be good. And then now, the tune has changed 12 months later. I'm wondering if this is the same kind of thing.
No, there was a guy I was talking to on Twitter one day, or X, about it, and he was like, I like your take on Stroud, and then he texted me, and he was just like, we both were wrong there, buddy. And I was just like, oh.
Yeah, that was – I mean, to be fair, you were really adamant through the whole offseason.
Dude, I hated Stroud. I'm not going to lie.
CJ Stroud's the prime example of why you don't helmet scout.
Yep. And that was on me for that. But also,
that's
to be fair, what I said was I don't think his processing speed was there. And
you also did mention a couple of times that because he played for Ohio State he had all these great receivers, and which is true.
As an LSU fan, I'm always reminded that Joe Burrow was an Ohio State first, and I was just like, okay, chill out. Like, he left because y'all didn't want to play him.
Yeah, dude, he was backing up C.J. Stroud, so.
No, he wasn't.
No, Omaleta's
okay, I thought you took that serious. I was like, wait a second, buddy. There's like.
Yeah, I'm just kidding, dude. Yeah, so I have one more hot take. How many do you have?
I got one more. Ladies and gentlemen, we need 5. We had 4, but
5
somebody got bored.
5 viewers. I should just do this. $5
a lot. That's 10, bud.
Yeah. 5 viewers.
Draft is over, fellas. Dynasty 24-hour picks is over.
Which is crazy because all the people complaining that the draft was taking too long, we finished before we were even scheduled to start with the quick draft.
Yes, sir. Okay.
What's your last
How hot is your last hot take? Because mine's pretty hot.
I would say mine's pretty hot too.
And I really hope Pete's watching both of them. My Broncos fan Pete is watching this next one. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit with me here. Bo Nix finishes as a top 12 quarterback in fantasy football this year.
7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you were about to call me crazy.
Oh, no, I've got one that's a little spicier than that. Right? We went like the same avenue as far as our hot takes, just with different players.
Okay. I had all these facts. I was ready to fight that one.
Mine is like in the realm, so I'm curious as to what you give my grade.
Okay, go ahead.
Bryce Young or Will Levis finish as a top 12 quarterback.
Ooh. What Timmy said as well.
Oh, it's funny you say that. We talked about this before the show because there was a comment I sent you, the Reddit post. There was a comment made by Gerard Mayo that said it was a true competition. And to this point, Drake May has looked better than Jacoby Brissett, which if you watch their games, I would agree. And Jake and I both agreed before the show that we were thinking about putting Drake May as a top 12 quarterback if he does end up getting the starting job. And I said I left it off because I thought you'd give it like a 1 out of 10 because we were both, we're both big Drake May guys.
We need 3 more, ladies and gentlemen. Need that field goal.
This is the name I lean to more out of the two is Will Levis.
I lean solely for the upside and that they want to build that offense around him. They got Tony Pollard, they got Spears, they got Ridley, they got D-Hop, they have Chig. And so to me, Will Levis has the best shot to do it solely because he will run too. And that's not in Bryce Young's wheelhouse at all.
I think Bryce Young is more of a runner to create throws, to create, plays from behind the line. Similar to Caleb Williams, like in the sense that he's going to run. He's not going to He's not Lamar Jackson, but he'll kind of scramble behind the line and keep plays alive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think Will Levis, if you look around him, you look at the head coaching change, you look at they brought in the other Callahan, the offensive line coach. They brought in pieces on the offensive line. There's enough around him where like you should be able to find out if Will Levis is it or not this year.
No, and that's what I love about it. And I have a few Will Levis shares, and so to me, that's the way to do it. He said Johnson.
Deontay.
Oh, Deontay Johnson. Ooh. Me and Ryan actually kind of got in a fight about this. By the way, if y'all want us to talk or debate about a hot take y'all have that you might be fighting with your friends about, we'll gladly talk about it. Just leave it in the chat and we will discuss it. So while we wait for 3 people to join in and
3 people. 3 people. There's 3 lonely souls out there waiting to click on our stream for the night.
But yeah, to me, that is the way to go. Will Levis for sure. Deontay Johnson, though, on the other hand, as a top 15 wide receiver. So him and Adam Thielen, to me, do the same thing. So I'm interested to see how that plays. And there's been the discussion that Mingo is having a great camp. And then they have
Xavier Legette.
Drafted. I can't think of his name. Legette?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't heard much of him out of this season or out of the preseason. So
for me, the tough thing, top 20, like, okay, I think he sees enough targets for it. I think he's the best route runner, separator on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the best wide receiver on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that offense is very good, so I don't think he has touchdown upside. If you remember the year he finished, what was it, wide receiver 8? He had 8 touchdowns on the year. I don't think that he can get that. I think he gets 4.
4.
I would say Deontay Johnson's line, his best possible line to me is like absolute max. We're looking at 80 catches,
Mm-hmm.
probably 1,200 yards and like 5 touchdowns.
80 catches and 1,200 yards?
Yeah.
Man's putting up some yak right there.
I think he's okay.
Or he's just catching deep bomb after deep bomb. I don't know. To me, that's what it feels like. But I don't hate it. I love Deontay Johnson. I haven't been
1,100 with 80 catches.
That could make Young a QB1. I don't think so. Like, to be a QB1, I feel like you have to have the rushing upside, or you just have to throw for 5,000 yards and 38 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think you have to have like an insanely, good offense and tons of scoring opportunities. I just don't see it with Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young's a solid QB2 this year. I think they did enough to improve that he improves. Dave Canales whispers in his ear and turns in magic like he did Geno Smith and, Baker Mayfield.
So. Just because I want him to be the guy. Just because I picked him over CJ Stroud in a lot of things. So I would like to be right there eventually.
98 viewers. Jake, I think.
I feel like if I give it up, though, they'll never trust it that we got to get to 100.
Guys, there's got to be 2 more people out there wanting to watch, right?
Somebody grab their significant other's phone and just go, ooh.
Yeah. 99. Oh, just we're almost there. Come on. Now I actually need 1 more.
Yeah, now we just need the 1 more.
I need a real Hacksaw Ridge. Let me get 1 more.
Let me get 1 more. Oh, Heavenly Father.
You don't have to.
Oh, I know, Pete. And I solely do this just for the love of it and love that people just want to watch us. Oh, I know. But I could just chug. You're not wrong, Pete. But I want to see the 1-0-0. That's ideally.
I want to see the 1-0-0 as well. That would be a great sight to see.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to, but you can just chug.
Yeah, he's like, you don't have to, but you could do, no big deal. We don't hate it for it.
Yeah. So 1 more. Anybody got a spare phone? Anybody got a TV?
Anybody got a hot take? And there it is, ladies and gentlemen.
101.
I think Pete got like 8 phones going right now or something.
Got Kevin Gates out here with 2 phones, bro, watching our show. But ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being active in the chat. Again, if you have not done so already, please go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like and share this post. We are going to be delivering some really, really good content. And as you can see in the chat, we've got some really great content creators ourselves and some really awesome dudes that you should absolutely go follow on Twitter. Talking about you, Bear Fan Pete. We're talking about JC, who is way up there in the chat. Timmy Brandt, don't follow him. He's a scrub.
But the third one for the triple digits here. We appreciate y'all. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. This was such a fun pod to do today. And
yeah,
we
for sure.
love every
like,
bit of it.
subscribe, share with your friends. Thank you for tuning in to BSing Sports, part of the BSing Network, where we do a little BS and we chug a whole lot of beers. Have a good
We
night.
chug a whole lot of beer. Ain't that the truth?